Hey, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Abba Buff in the DC Church. Coming at you, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shema Shai, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, being whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, by Shem meaning in the name, call meaning spirit, Kodash meaning holy. Alright? Shanya Kabaga, Walla Rakaz, claim Naba Aith. Double honors to the elders and apostles of JMS in these times. It's Shalom, wa Barakum, Labakan, Shia, Sha'ala. Peace and blessings be upon the elect of the nation of Israel. Alright? And to the men that's out there pushing this word in sincerity and truth, to you I say Shalom wa Barakah, thumb, peace and blessings be upon you. I wanted to name this video Perseverance and Resilience. Alright? And what made me really think of this those two words is that a lot of the trials that we're going through, perseverance and resilience are two characteristics that we kind of don't really look at too often, but those are characteristics and character traits that we have to acquire in order to level up in the spirit. Perseverance is being able. It's synonymous with the word endure, but perseverance is essentially not looking for a way around what you're going through and not making excuses as to why you can't go through a certain situation, or as to why you don't want to go through a certain situation or a certain circumstance or a certain trial, I'd rather say. But it's literally just being able to deal with it from day to day. If it happens to be a trial that carries on for more than one day, and being able to keep your faith within that, okay? Perseverance, we have to persevere through all things, okay? And I know this sounds redundant, but perseverance is not a word that we kind of use too much, because we kind of typically use the word endure. But perseverance is just as important, even though, like I said, it's synonymous. But you understand that different character traits breed different spirits. There's a spirit of endurance and there's a spirit of perseverance. Okay? It takes real strength to endure, the mental chastisement that we receive on this side. Okay? Because we're special men. The Heavenly Father cares for us more than He cares for the world. The scriptures tell you that, in 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 22, the Lord said, let my grape be kept. He said, let my plant be kept and my grape of a cluster. Okay, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay? The Lord puts a different level of trial on us because we're more worthy to receive that. And on top of that, we're worthy enough to receive the reward that comes with going through it. Okay? Because the Lord you got to understand that the Heavenly Father is not going to put more on your spirit that you're able to bear. So therefore, He wants you to receive the blessing that comes at the end of that trial. Alright? Perseverance. That's what perseverance is. It's being able to be scourged, being able to be stripped, being able to be chastised, broken down, beat up, and to just put that H on your back and handle it, man. Perseverance is one of the strongest traits you can acquire as a man, because perseverance is not only something that you have in spirit, it's something that you also have in flesh. These are things that we have to acquire not only in spirit, but we have to acquire them in flesh too. Alright? But the reason why it starts off in the spirit is because the spirit, once you acquire something in the spirit, it's easy for you to do it in the flesh. Alright? If you can endure spiritual things, you can endure things that pertain to your flesh. Because it takes a lot more strength for a man to persevere mental things than it is for a man to persevere physical things. Anybody can go out here and take stripes to the back, or be whipped, or get whipped, or whatever it is, man. Any man can go out here and become a bodybuilder, but not every man can receive the chastisement of the Heavenly Father. Not every man can receive the gift of perseverance and spirit. Because the things that you got to understand, the way that we're tried, the rest of the world is not tried the same exact way. Okay? The scriptures tell you that grown men are going to be crying in the day of the Heavenly Father. Okay? You have brolic, strong, grown men who's going to be weeping and crying in that day, because they don't have the they don't have the perseverance and spirit. They don't have that spiritual perseverance. Okay? And I've spoken enough on that. I do want to now talk about resilience. Okay? Resilient. Now, being resilient is being able to not allow anything, it's, in other words, to be called unmovable. Okay? A man that is resilient is able to deal with the trials that he's given, or that he's received from the Heavenly Father, and will not allow it to move his spirit, and will not allow it to move his faith. Okay? Resilience is not only something that you can acquire in spirit, but it's also something we should also acquire in flesh too. Okay? Because as I stated, anything that we receive in spirit, we can utilize it in the flesh. Okay? Now, resilience is kind of a little bit hand in hand with patience, because you have to be patient while it's being resilient. Okay? A resilient man, Salakia. A resilient man can bear the trials and tribulations of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and can understand, and I'll say this, and I'm not even to cut myself off in the midst of that sentence, but one that understands is one that can become resilient. The more you understand the more you understand why things operate and things happen the way they happen, the more you can become resilient to things that happen. A man that knows the future will be resilient toward any trial that comes to him, because he has an understanding of the future. And that's why being a prophet is one of the most important lots that one can actually acquire. Okay? Because not everybody is tried in the same way as we're tried. As I stated before, not everyone can make it through the things that we make it through, as I stated before. Only the ones that are truly gifted the spirit, the fruits of the spirit, and the peaceable fruits of righteousness can acquire these traits. Okay? Because these traits will allow you to receive salvation. Now, I said all that to say this too, that these traits that we're acquiring as of right now, we don't understand how much this is actually really going to help us toward the time that we're about to face, talking about Jacob's trouble and martial law. Because, and I will also say this too, a man that is resilient doesn't allow anything to affect his emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? His emotional mind. Okay? Because I have no other way to word it. But I'll put it to you like this. A man that is resilient does not allow things to affect his emotions. Okay? Emotions are temporal. A man that is resilient deals with things that are eternal, not things that are temporal. Okay? When you look at things that, of course, pursuing back to the precept 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse I believe 18, roughly paraphrasing. While we look not at the things that are seen, but we look at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Now, with that being said, a man that has that mind frame and a man that actually applies this to himself will become resilient, because he understands that whatever is happening in the present time cannot move me, because this is only the present. But in the future, I know things will actually favor me because I'm a man of the Lord. That's what a man with a resilient mind would think. Okay? Perseverance and resilience. These are two traits that are, I can honestly say, one of the probably the most favorable and probably the most imperative to have. Not to neglect any of the not to negate any of the other traits that we receive in spirit, but these will actually be traits that will allow us to pass through any trial that we go through. The application, and I will say this too, Akim, a lot of time we have these traits inside of us. We need a little bit of counsel. We need men of the Lord to actually tell us these are the traits that we have to apply within the trial that we're in. Okay? Because a lot of time men will probably be going through certain things and not know exactly how to act or what to apply during that time of them being tried. But that's why it's imperative. That's why it's imperative to stay around men of the same mind. All right, and also to commune and congregate with men that are of this truth. All right. I'm thinking of be continually with the godly man. Be continually with a godly man whom thou knowest to serve the heavenly Father, and who will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry, man. Roughly paraphrasing again. Okay? Because this indeed, like, if you're going through any trial, that man will allow you that the Lord will put the Spirit on that man in order to tell you how to think and and basically assist you on how to make it through anything you're going through. Okay? Akim are here for a reason. The Lord had given us all a piece of His Spirit for a reason. All right? So that's most of everything I did want to say. I pray that this was actually, edifying. And of course, I exhortated Akim, and I uplifted you in spirit and allowed you to understand, a bit more of the trials and tribulations that we go through, because this is something that we're going to face until the very end. Okay? The trial doesn't stop up until we get into the kingdom of heaven. This is all a trial of our faith. Our job is just to remain faithful, to apply the things that the Heavenly Father gives us in spirit, so that we're able to receive that which the Heavenly Father wants us to receive. Okay? So with that, I give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Kokadash, Shen Kabaka, Wella Rakazu, Kaim Naba'aith, Wa Shalom, Wa Barakum, Labakam, Shea Shalom, Shalom, Makim.